Taurus. My name is Audrey Alison, and this is your December 2014 forecast for the month. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for joining me and tuning in, and for all of your support, Google Plusing me, all of it, liking me, sharing these podcasts. I really appreciate it. Let's get into the month, and I want to start with Mars, who is transiting out of Capricorn into Aquarius on the 4th of December. And this will be affecting your 10th house of career. And the 10th house is not just the job, but it is the status, the recognition. It's the recognition you deserve. And people will be seeing you in a very high projection. The 10th house is the highest point on the astrological wheel, considered the midheaven between the 9th and 10th house. It's very powerful. And Mars, the planet of energy and passion and determination and drive and energy and will, is going into it. So giddy up, because the 10th house, Mars doesn't just transit for a couple days. That's a 60-day transit. So you're having a lot of oomph in the 10th house. You're getting feisty about it. You're getting passionate about it. Now, the detriment to Mars is anger and aggression, okay? So watch the tone in the 10th house. Watch who you're talking to and how you're coming off or coming across with Mars in the 10th. But, you know, honestly, I really think it's the drive and the ambition to obtain the goal of the work, similar to the Wheel of Fortune card in the major arcana of the Tarot. So Mars will be stimulating this 10th house for you. You could be hearing a lot of opportunity at this time coming in for the next 60 days. So through the rest of 2014. On the 6th of December, we have our full moon at 14 degrees Gemini, which is your second house of finance. So you have the 10th and the second house going on at the top of the month. The full moon's going to bring something to an awareness in the second, fiscally, illuminating something that needs to be seen or addressed with your money sector. So you could be putting something to an ending. You know, maybe you've paid off a bill in its entirety, you know, credit card or something like that. Making an ending in the second also could be finishing paperwork or contracts that need to be adjusted in order for you to obtain more finances, something like that. But either way, you know, a full moon in the money sector really helps you sort out a budget, really gets you on point with where you are fiscally. And I love it, because things that are missed are seen now. So your checkbook balance will be even if people are still using them in in this year. I know I do, because I'm kind of old school. I do both. Like I'll do online, but then I also have a checkbook because I kind of want to make sure everything's spot on. On the 8th of December, Jupiter is going to retrograde. He's been in Leo for quite a while. That's your 4th house of home. I'm not really mad at a Jupiter retrograde because he's so magnificent. It doesn't really work against him when he retrogrades. If anything, he just slows down how good it gets. So that could even be better. Your 4th house of home, you're having a lot of expansion in the home, a lot of people living there, growing there, maybe literal growth in the home, add-ons, additions, restructuring, getting bigger homes, more to put in the home. It's either way. I wanted to just say the retrograde of Jupiter isn't like a Mercury retrograde. It doesn't really slow things down in a negative way. It actually just makes the blessings, or whatever Jupiter's really working his luck and magic on, it just feels like, you know, the slowest, you know, release, where like if you take a pill or medication that's a time release capsule, it just gives you that oomph every 2 hours. That's kind of what it's doing. On the 10th, we have a Venus transit into Capricorn. He'll be leaving Sagittarius and heading into your 9th house of education, or a 9th house of faraway travel or broadening of the mind, philosophy, expansion of the mind and the horizons. You could really feel the desire to want to look at faraway places. For those of you who can't really afford to travel because it's the holidays coming up, Venus is love and sensuality and money, but being drawn to the 9th house is kind of what Venus does. She's sensual. She's She wants to draw you in, and you could be really attracted to photographs and pictures and things that ease the body and mind regarding afar. I'm immediately thinking of places like Bali and Indonesia and healing places, healing the mind and body. I don't know why I'm saying that. Maybe some of you are going to those places. I wanted to pull the cards about that too, but I'll just wait till the end of the reading. We have this Uranus-Pluto square that's activated on the 15th and the 16th of December. And this isn't the end of that. We'll have another one in March, but this is at an exact 12 degrees. So this is pitting your 12th house against your 9th house. A little bit of tension internally, 12th house, against the 9th house, faraway travel. Maybe you're yearning to really go away and it's just crunch time right now and you can't really afford to do so. Or perhaps the 9th house applies to education for some of you and who's trying to obtain a degree. It feels a little frustrating at that time. It's just a transit. So the 15th and 16th, I'm not even going out those days. I'm going to be home, watching movies, and not thinking too hard because it's, if anything, it's just adding more tense frustration to the mind and the daily routine. Now, also on the 16th, Mercury is entering Capricorn in this 9th house again. And honestly, from the 10th of December on, the 9th house is lit up for you. So Mercury into Capricorn is communications, information, news, writing, speech, publications, all about the 9th house. So this could be education for you, learning, or philosophically, how you're communicating with others could really go through a tweaking at that time. Mercury is in a sign for anywhere from 21 to 28 days. So you could be getting a lot of online emails regarding trips, a lot of JetBlue, Travelocity, people poking at you to, hey, look, there's a cruise you could go on. Hey, look, do you want to go to Mexico for $400? Some things are coming in as far as information. You might want to take some of them up on their offer because on the 21st, the sun goes into Capricorn as well as our new moon at 0 degrees. This is in your 9th house, so you're beginning something. You're starting something new in this 9th house. You're probably going away for Christmas or starting a new online class or attending literally school. But you know, the 9th house is also metaphysical realms, acupuncture, healing, Eastern techniques. I love that because I think that, you know, the last couple new moons we've had start at 0 degrees, and not all new moons start at 0 degrees. But this is really initiating something in this 9th house sector for you. So for those of you who are actually maybe playing around with, oh, I want to take this pottery class, or I really wanted to learn this, this is the time to start it. The 21st is the most perfect day because the new moon, the new initiating moon, is at 0 degrees. And it could be anywhere from 0 to 30. And to start it right at the top of the little slice of pie, it's really good. It's an endeavor that will stick. What you're learning now will stick with you. Now, the biggest transit that a lot of people are talking about, that I will be writing an article about on my site, is Saturn's transit. After 2.5 years, he's been in Capricorn. Now he goes into Sagittarius on the 23rd. And this will affect your 8th house. Now, this is a really deep house because Saturn will be there for another 2.5 years, restructuring the 8th house of intimacy, sex, death, wills, inheritances, property, taxes, loans, estates. You know, the 8th house is really governed by Pluto and Scorpio, so it's a very intense sector. Saturn is restructure. Saturn is restriction. Saturn is tweaking you, reshaping your 8th house of intimacy and how you're relating with people. You could actually go without a lot of sex, you know, not for the full 2.5 years, God help you all. But I mean, you could actually be rethinking or renegotiating how often that is experienced or on what terms. There's a restructuring here. So go with the changes, because he won't revisit that sector for 27 years. So when he's in a sign, he does a lot of work and then he's off. All right, let me get to the cards because I'm really anxious. I've been shuffling them the whole time. I wanted to pull one earlier regarding the Uranus-Pluto square. So let's see what comes up for Taurus for December 2014. Three of Swords. I actually got this card in the last reading. The Nine of Wands. I'll do the summation after I'm done. The Fool. And I have a few at the ending, because when I drop them in piles of 4, I usually use all of the cards in the last pile as the outcome. And sometimes there is just one, but if there's more than one, I'll use them all. The Five of Cups, the Four of Swords, the Death card, and the King of Swords. All right, people, not to overwhelm you. Okay, I even know, I have a feeling I know what all of this is. Okay, so remember when I was talking about the 0 degrees, the new moon initiating things at 0 degrees? Why can't I get this camera right? This is the 0 degree card. The Fool is the number 0 in the Tarot, and it initiates the deck in the Major Arcana. So you are about to embark on something new. However, the first cards I pulled, okay, the Three of Swords and the Eight of Wands, I'm sorry, Nine of Wands, tell me that through heartache and loss and things, grievances that you've left behind, sacrifices that you've made, sacrifices and loss that you've experienced, you've cut some people out of your life. It could be 3 of them, 3 of Swords, but you've definitely cut someone out of your life that had a hold on your heart. Through the sacrifice, you're embarking on something new, and you've broken free. See the 2 birds flying in opposite directions? They're going their separate ways for the betterment of everyone involved. But trust this, that person you left is thinking of you. They're in deep thought. The Sage is the meditator, the thinker. And 4 of the Swords cards are the mind, the mental thoughts. But you had this 8th house with Saturn touch that I said, you know, sex, intimacy, death. I pulled the Death card. It's really telling me a timeline here. This same person who's thinking of you could be an air sign, male or female. I got the King of Swords, which is the air sign, Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. This person is almost feeling, you know, they might need to let this go now. Like maybe this is final. So the action that you took here in the breaking free, they're finally realizing it, because I don't think they realized it in the beginning, that this thing has come. Sorry, I've got a lot of cards over here. Like, okay, so they're finally realizing, you know what? This thing might be dead in the dirt. So maybe he or she was onto something, and I got to let this go too. But they are thinking about, what could I have done differently? Perhaps you are, Taurus. Perhaps you're thinking, what could I have done differently too? But either way, you know, trying to learn from how you've handled things, it only shows growth. So, you know, good for you. It can't hurt to analyze where you've come and how you've gotten there. My name is Audrey Alison, and if you'd like a free reading, a free reading? What? If you'd like a reading with me, this is your free reading. You can book with me at audreyallison.com, and I'm on Facebook at Audrey Allison, Astrology and Tarot. Have a beautiful December, and I'll see you soon. Have a sweet day. Bye.